TV soap news and spoilers say that in the twisted, pulse-pounding world of Beyond the Gates, where secrets lurk in every shadow and no one is ever truly safe, the saga of Alison Bailey and Chelsea Morgan has gripped audiences with its raw intensity and unrelenting drama. The question on every fan's lips, whispered in hushed tones across forums and social media, is this: will Alison, the cunning and malevolent force behind Chelsea's torment, escape her prison cell to unleash another wave of terror? The stakes have never been higher, and the tension is palpable as we delve into this dark, labyrinthine tale of obsession, betrayal, and vengeance. A villain forged in darkness. Alison Bailey is no ordinary antagonist. Her descent into villainy is a masterclass in psychological unraveling, a slow burn that has captivated viewers since her first chilling appearance on screen. Once a woman of charm and sophistication, Alison's life took a catastrophic turn when her carefully constructed world began to crumble. The details of her backstory, revealed in tantalizing fragments throughout Beyond the Gates, paint a picture of a woman scorned, betrayed, and consumed by a need for control. Her fixation on Chelsea Morgan, the bright and resilient protagonist, is not merely a whim but a deeply rooted obsession, one that has driven her to commit unspeakable acts. The pivotal moment came when Alison, in a calculated act of malice, kidnapped Chelsea and held her hostage in a remote, dilapidated cabin deep in the wilderness. The scenes of Chelsea's captivity were harrowing, the flickering light of a single bulb casting eerie shadows on the cabin's splintered walls, the suffocating silence broken only by Alison's venomous monologues, and Chelsea's desperate attempts to cling to hope while bound and helpless. The cabin, a character in its own right, became a claustrophobic prison, its isolation amplifying the terror of Alison's unpredictable rage. For weeks, viewers watched, hearts pounding, as Chelsea endured psychological and physical torment, her spirit tested but never fully broken. Alison's arrest at the end of that arc was a moment of triumph for Chelsea and the authorities, a fleeting victory that saw the villainess dragged away in handcuffs, her piercing glare promising that this was far from the end. Now, locked behind the cold steel bars of a maximum security prison, Alison remains a specter haunting Chelsea's every step. But in the unpredictable world of Beyond the Gates, where the line between justice and chaos is razor thin, one question looms large: can a prison cell truly contain a woman as relentless as Alison Bailey? The fragility of justice. The world of television thrives on the unexpected, and Beyond the Gates is no exception. The show has built its reputation on jaw-dropping twists, where no character is safe and no outcome is certain. Alison's incarceration, while a moment of catharsis, feels like a temporary reprieve rather than a definitive conclusion. After all, this is a universe where the impossible becomes reality, where the rules of logic bend to the will of drama. Could Alison, with her cunning intellect and unyielding determination, find a way to slip through the cracks of the justice system? The possibility of Alison's escape is not just plausible, it's practically inevitable in the heightened reality of Beyond the Gates. Prisons in this world are not impenetrable fortresses but porous constructs, vulnerable to bribery, manipulation, or sheer audacity. Alison has already proven herself a master manipulator, capable of bending others to her will with a combination of charm, intimidation, and calculated deceit. During her trial, glimpses of her interactions with prison guards hinted at her ability to exploit weaknesses, perhaps a sympathetic ear, a guard with a secret, or a system stretched thin by corruption. The show's writers have planted seeds of doubt, subtle but unmistakable, suggesting that Alison's imprisonment is merely a plot device, a pause before the next act of her dark symphony. Imagine the scene: a stormy night, rain lashing against the prison's concrete walls, thunder rumbling as a power outage plunges the facility into darkness. In the chaos, Alison, ever the opportunist, seizes her moment. Perhaps she's orchestrated a riot, turning inmates against guards in a frenzy of violence. Or maybe she's secured an ally on the outside, a shadowy figure from her past, driven by loyalty or fear, who slips her a key or sabotages the security system. The camera lingers on her face as she steps into the rain-soaked night, her eyes glinting with a mix of triumph and menace. This is the Alison Bailey we know, a woman who thrives in the shadows, who turns adversity into opportunity, and who will stop at nothing to reclaim her power. The next chapter of terror. If Alison does escape, and the odds in this narrative universe suggest she will, the implications for Chelsea are nothing short of catastrophic. Their history is a tapestry of pain, woven with threads of betrayal, fear, and survival. Alison's previous attack on Chelsea was a meticulously planned assault, designed not just to harm but to destroy. The kidnapping was only the beginning. Alison's true goal was to unravel Chelsea's spirit, to strip away her resilience and leave her a hollow shell. The cabin, with its creaking floors and suffocating isolation, was a stage for Alison's twisted performance, a place where she could exert absolute control. But Alison's thirst for vengeance is far from quenched. If she breaks free, her next move will be even more diabolical, a crescendo of cruelty that surpasses her previous atrocities. The writers of Beyond the Gates have a knack for escalation, and Alison's return would likely bring a new level of horror. Picture Chelsea, now living in a fragile state of recovery, haunted by nightmares of her captivity. She's rebuilt her life piece by piece, finding solace in her relationships and her work, but the scars remain. The moment Alison re-enters her world, those scars will reopen, and the terror will be magnified by the knowledge that Alison has had time to refine her cruelty. What form might this new attack take? Alison is not one for repetition. Her methods evolve, each more sinister than the last. Perhaps she targets Chelsea's loved ones, striking at the heart of her support system to isolate her once more. A chilling possibility is that Alison infiltrates Chelsea's life under a new identity, her prison time having taught her the art of disguise and deception. Imagine Chelsea befriending a seemingly kind stranger, only to discover too late that it's Alison, her smile a mask for malice. The psychological toll would be immense, as Chelsea grapples with the betrayal of trust and the realization that her tormentor is closer than ever. Alternatively, Alison could orchestrate a public spectacle, turning Chelsea's life into a nightmare played out on a grand stage. Beyond the Gates has never shied away from bold, theatrical moments, and Alison's return could involve a scheme that draws the entire town into her web. Perhaps she leaks fabricated evidence implicating Chelsea in a crime, forcing her to fight for her freedom while Alison watches from the shadows, reveling in her chaos. The possibilities are endless, each more horrifying than the last, and the show's penchant for melodrama ensures that Alison's next move will be a masterstroke of villainy. Chelsea's resilience in the face of fear. At the heart of this story is Chelsea Morgan, a character whose strength and vulnerability have made her a fan favorite. Her ordeal in the cabin was a crucible, forging her into a survivor but leaving her forever changed. Chelsea's journey is one of resilience, but it's not a straight line. The trauma of her captivity lingers, manifesting in moments of paranoia, sleepless nights, and a hyper-awareness of the world around her. Every creak of a floorboard, every unfamiliar face, carries the potential for danger. Yet Chelsea refuses to be defined by her fear, a testament to her indomitable spirit. If Alison escapes, Chelsea will face her greatest challenge yet. The prospect of confronting her tormentor again is daunting, but it's also an opportunity for Chelsea to reclaim her power. The writers have hinted at her growth, showing her training in self-defense, seeking therapy, and building a network of allies who stand by her side. This is not the same Chelsea who was dragged into that cabin. She's wiser, stronger, and more determined to protect herself and those she loves. But Alison's unpredictability is her greatest weapon, and Chelsea will need every ounce of her resolve to face what's coming. The dynamic between these two women is the beating heart of Beyond the Gates. It's a classic tale of hero versus villain, but layered with complexity. Alison sees Chelsea as both her obsession and her mirror, a reflection of the life she believes was stolen from her. Chelsea, in turn, sees Alison not just as a threat but as a reminder of her own vulnerability, and her capacity to overcome it. Their encounters are electric, charged with a mix of fear, anger, and a strange, unspoken understanding. When Alison returns, their confrontation will be more than a battle, it will be a reckoning, a clash of wills that could redefine them both. The world of Beyond the Gates. What makes this storyline so compelling is the world in which it unfolds. Beyond the Gates is a show that thrives on its atmosphere, a gothic blend of mystery, romance, and danger. The fictional town of Gatesville, with its sprawling mansions, fog-shrouded forests, and whispered secrets, is the perfect backdrop for Alison's schemes. The town itself feels alive, its history intertwined with the characters' fates, and its shadowy corners provide endless opportunities for drama. The supporting cast adds depth to the narrative, each character a potential pawn in Alison's game. There's Ethan, Chelsea's steadfast but conflicted love interest, whose own past holds secrets that could complicate their fight against Alison. There's Detective Harper, the dogged investigator who arrested Alison but now faces pressure to keep her contained. And there are the townsfolk, a mix of allies and adversaries whose loyalties shift with the wind. Alison's escape would ripple through Gatesville, drawing everyone into her orbit and forcing them to confront their own demons. The show's visual style amplifies the tension, with cinematography that leans into the Gothic aesthetic. Dark, moody lighting, sweeping shots of the wilderness, and claustrophobic close-ups create a sense of unease that permeates every scene. The score, with its haunting strings and pulsing percussion, underscores the stakes, building to crescendos that leave viewers on edge. When Alison's escape inevitably comes, it will be a visual and auditory spectacle, a moment that cements her as one of television's most unforgettable villains. The waiting game. As fans, we're left in a state of delicious anticipation, dissecting every clue and speculating about what lies ahead. Will Alison escape, as we suspect, and unleash a new reign of terror? Or will the writers subvert our expectations, keeping her behind bars while introducing a new threat to challenge Chelsea? The beauty of Beyond the Gates lies in its unpredictability, its ability to keep us guessing while delivering moments of raw, emotional impact. For now, we wait, our imaginations running wild with possibilities. Alison Bailey is a force of nature, a villain whose cunning and charisma make her both terrifying and mesmerizing. Her story is far from over, and her next move will undoubtedly shake the foundations of Gatesville. Chelsea, ever the survivor, stands ready to face her, but the cost of that battle remains to be seen. In the world of Beyond the Gates, where every shadow hides a secret and every victory comes at a price, one thing is certain: the drama is only just beginning. So, what do you think? Will Alison break free from her chains, or will justice prevail?